Imagine being trapped in a system that punishes you for crime but neglects the mental health struggles that may have led you there. This is a crisis that demands our immediate attention and action. The intersection of mental health and the criminal justice system is a critical issue that often goes overlooked. Many individuals who end up in the criminal justice system suffer from untreated or poorly managed mental health conditions. Addressing this situation can lead to better outcomes for the individual, such as reducing recidivism and helping them to reintegrate into society more successfully. According to a study by the National Institute of Mental Health, nearly half of all inmates have a diagnosed mental health condition. Today I'm going to talk about how to acknowledge the problem, how to take actionable steps, and how important it is to commit to ongoing support. First, I'll talk about the importance of acknowledging the severity of the problem that is the issue. Second, I'll talk about the actionable steps that are needed for taking this action. And third, I'll talk about how important it is to commit to the support and evolutions to ensure a lasting change in behavior. So now that we know what I'll be discussing today, let's begin by talking more specifically about the issue. So the problem at hand is that most don't take into consideration how important people's mental health is when impacting their behavior on certain things that they do in their life. According to MHAnational.org, timely and accurate mental health screenings and evaluations are the single most critical element in successfully diverting individuals from the criminal justice system. Institutions should provide screening, they should provide treatment, and they should provide access to mental health professionals. According to MHAnational.org, advocates should work with their prison reform groups to highlight treatment and conditions of persons with mental health conditions in prisons and in jails to ensure that everyone with a mental health condition receives decent and humane mental health services while incarcerated. About 2 in 5 people who are incarcerated have a history of mental illness. 37% in state and federal prisons and 44% in local jails have a history of mental illness. According to NAMI.org, despite court mandates, there is a significant lack of access to adequate mental health care in incarcerated settings. So, now that I have discussed the severity of the problem, I want to turn a little bit by talking about a few solutions to the problem. One solution to this problem is collaboration with the inmate. Collaboration is very important as it brings together mental health system leaders, it brings together law enforcement, public defenders, prosecutors, court personnel, advocates, and legislators to create a system that improves the outcome for everyone. So, according to an article by Ives, Rubley, and Stafford, increasing financial eligibility is a positive correlation with reduction in depression. And according to Drake and Wallach, research shows that employment engenders self-reliance and leads to other valued incomes. So this increases self-confidence, it increases the respect that others in the community have for you, and it also helps to increase your self-esteem. So according to an article by McLean Hospital, working has been shown to help stabilize people that are struggling with mental health conditions, and employees are protected from discrimination due to mental health issues in the workplace under ADA, which is Americans with Disability Act of 1990. So taking mental health into consideration can help impact how one might act in their everyday life instead of turning down the criminal road again. So some people feel that working and being in large groups of people may add on to their mental illnesses, so they might choose to go down a different route. Diversion programs might be of more help for some people than it would for others. According to Massaro, the mental health provider can assist the individual in providing services that are the most useful to them. This can provide a more confined area, and it can help them to be calmer and more willing to open up about their struggles that they are having. Without this sort of help, the offender is more likely to reoffend once back out in the world. According to COMM.ca, people with mental illnesses with additional risk factors for criminal justice involvement or re-involvement receive a targeted mental health focused intervention. So now that I've talked about 3 different ways that taking mental health into consideration can benefit, let's now move on to how this would help the criminal justice system. So imagine how many offenders would reoffend if they didn't have the proper mental health care that was necessary for them when they were released. So, in an article written by Sarah Bosley, she says that research shows that ex-prisoners with common mental health problems such as bipolar disorder and people who misuse drugs and alcohol are more likely to commit violent offenses after their release than other former prisoners are. So not getting the proper mental health care that is necessary is it could be a very scary thing for the inmate. They could be feeling as if they aren't as worthy, feeling as if they shouldn't be where they are because of their mental health issues, and this could be a very negative thing. So now imagine how many people would get better by getting the help that they need for their mental health issues. It could help them to become a better person for themselves and their family and just their surrounding community. It can help them gain back the trust of those that they might have hurt in the past or the trust that they have broken. It should be obvious that people want to get the help that they need to become a better person and to gain the trust back of those who they might have lost it from. So next we will review the points that we have gone over today. So today I have talked about the importance of taking mental health into consideration in the criminal justice system. So first I discussed acknowledging the severity of the problem. Second, I talked about how to take actionable steps towards implementing comprehensive mental health programs. And third, I talked about how committing to ongoing support and evaluation to ensure long-lasting change is necessary. So to endorse offenders to get their mental health taken into consideration, we should all take it into consideration, especially if we know somebody who is incarcerated, to talk to them about trying to get their mental health taken into consideration to possibly benefit them in a benefit way. Thinking about the mental health of offenders, consider if maybe that was a playing factor in their offense.